Hello and welcome to the stream. Um, oh, actually I need to switch scenes. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna check audio quickly, then we should be good to go. Okay, yep, that seems fine. Anyway, it's been a bit, and patch 1.05 kinda, I mean, it was mainly bug fixes, but they considered chain casting different types of spells a bug, which is a little annoying for casting. Not because it was like too strong. I mean, certain combinations are very strong, yes, but primarily it just made more variety, which is why I'm kind of disappointed it got removed, but is what it is. So I'm not actually, it's been like 2 weeks since I've even actually played any Elden Ring PvP, so yeah, let's see how it goes, I suppose. And let's just start with a few duels, I guess. Because, from what I did mess around when the patch initially released, a duel as Moonblade is just kind of bad now because Piercer has better tracking, like, even though it's, like, it doesn't have the projectile part to it, it has better roll catch potential. And then you can't combo out of a Duels Moonblade anymore, so I just feel like the spell is kind of bad. Because, like, a Duels Moonblade isn't as good of roll catch, so, and it's not really fast enough or it does enough damage to use right away. So I just don't really know when you would ever actually use it. Interesting combo. Big cat trade. Good fight, I guess. Not bad for my first duel in actually 2 weeks. Because, like, the most annoying thing about the spellcasting change is it doesn't even... I'm okay. Unless, like, you were only doing, like, a Slicer or Swift Shard into Comet, and that's, like, the only spell combo you did. Like, that was a very strong combo to do because it is a really high damage whiff punish. Or even just, like, unsafe attack into you, like for a trade punish even. Like if you whiff a slicer and then they try and attack you, just hit them in the face with a comet and you would usually win that. Outside of that combo, Sorcerer's not even really weak, or like any weaker at now. Like it just has so much less variety, which is disappointing. But like to be fair, because it's sorcery, it still has so much more variety than most melee weapons. And that looks suspicious. Hey. Although they did, interesting. That's a lot of HP. I'm gonna try doing this. Okay, did like everybody who knows how to PvP also stop? Because like I feel like these last two people have just been running up to me and pressing buttons. Like just, and by just pressing buttons I mean like have no time to them whatsoever. Just actually just walk up, press buttons, and see what happens. And I do also want to try invasions at some point, but seeing how slow invasions were before patch 1.05, I don't have much hope for getting meta level invasions. Like at all. I could try one of my other builds that I have a level 75 character and a level 90 character, I believe. But at this point I don't think invasions at any level will be very active, which is unfortunate. Bandit curved sword. Another caster. I feel like a curved sword is an odd... I mean, that's also an odd thing to do, to be fair. Hey, I didn't even get frostbite in there. Oh no, I'm frostbitten. Whatever will I do? Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, I have a dagger out. That's not what I wanted. Good fight. Oh, also, what I noticed is, because chain casting doesn't work for different spells, casting speed ends up being much more important, which I think is overall a good thing. Because with chain casting every spell, you would just always use like Slicer or Swift Shard first and then do any spell after that. Which really reduced the need for like the Zur staff if you were doing like a hybrid setup like this. But because like I can't cast like Pearson never really was affected anyway. And I guess I'm really not casting any of these other, like it's still not very necessary really if you were doing like meta spells, because it turns out the good spells are the very fast ones anyway. And then casting speed doesn't affect like sprinting, roll, or jump cast of Slicer or Swift Shard. So it's still not the most important thing, but because I can't do all the combos, I just feel like it at least allows a little bit more variety to be somewhat useful. And then the sword, even though like the tracking on the Ash of War got fixed, it's still not. It's still a great sword, which are unfortunately kind of bad in this game. Because usually the way to use them would just be poise, stack, two-hand, and just trade, which doesn't work that great. Actually, did I post to Twitter? I don't think I did. So I'll do that after this one.
Hey!
Another caster. Interesting. Hey, Bloodhound Step! You forgot about the Glint Blade. I feel like sorcery. It's not really any weaker. It's just less variety. I mean, I guess against like people who don't or didn't realize you could chain cast into a comment after like a faster spell, it's weaker because that would catch people off guard and whatnot. But if you knew that was a possibility, it wasn't like, oh shit, a surprise comment. It's still like the chain, like the regular animation for a follow-up comment. It wasn't like instant or anything. It just would catch people off guard if they didn't knew it was even a possibility. Whereas now it's like, you just hit them with a Slicer 2 more times because it does too much damage. Or you're just more passive doing like Spiral Shards and Glint Blades from a distance, which I personally find less fun. To both fight as and also fight against. I hate fighting people who primarily backpedal, which is like, playing passive usually is a better option in these types of games, which, again, is unfortunate. Also, I didn't tweet. There we go. Granted, like, who actually uses Twitter?
Hey!
I'm gonna use the sword this time. Surely. Is he just gonna try and pair him? that was not Ash of where I thought it was. Oh, he crouched it. That's unfortunate. There we go, good fight. So if I would have charged that glint blade, it would have caught him on like the jump, but there's no way to know exactly what they're gonna do. So that's usually why I just like after a glint blade I'll run up and try and get their like back turned to it. That way they have to like go on audio cue or whatnot. Granted, like people will still be staring at the glint blade and they'll be attacking me anyway. Like I don't think it actually matters what you do. Some people will just ignore the glint blade and eat a ton of damage for no reason, and others will sprint perpendicular and fully avoid it. But yeah, I'm very kind of disappointed at how quickly the multiplayer for this game kind of died.
Hey! Hey!
Not fully died, but enough to make it, like, yeah. Interesting. Bad trade. And then, like, the worst part about the patch is they didn't do anything to actually adjust, like, this type of playstyle, which I find is annoying. Because he's not, like... just poised through a one-handed greatsword. How did that miss? And then he's gonna do a roar, so I gotta watch out for that. Or he's just gonna run up and S-stock poke me, probably. Yep. Oh, good fight. Got too greedy. But yeah, like, I feel like poise doesn't make any sense in this game. Or, like, it's not... Like... I feel like it's... all... Like, to poise through everything, it's too... Like, it's not spread out enough. Like, you need around, like, 41 poise to realistically poise through any light weapon. I think it's 31 for daggers, 41 for stuff like rapiers, curved swords, and that type of thing. Then 51 for, like, fast but kind of medium weapons like straight swords, katanas, etc. It's like 61 for greatswords or something like that. And then it jumps up a lot for like halberds and ultra greats and stuff like that. Where I feel like light weapons should it should be like daggers at like at most like 20, most light weapons 30 or so. Or I also feel like at a certain point you just shouldn't be able to poise through like even medium weapons. Like you should need 100 poise for the medium weapons, which I guess that guy had like full veterans armor on, so they could have had like 100 poise. But I feel like generally it should be easier to poise through light weapons, and then impossible to poise through like the ultra weapons or colossal weapons, whatever they're called in this game. And then very difficult to poise through great weapons. And the issue is, like, with the way armor works in this game, to reach like even medium amounts of poise, you pretty much have to wear tank armor. Because like medium armor in this game is just bad. Most of the medium sets only give like 40 poise, which you need 41 poise to poise through light weapons. It's like kind of pointless. You just throw on 2 pieces of the medium or tank armor, then you have more poise anyway. So I kind of went about that in a really roundabout way. So like either make lighter armors more effective getting poise, or lower the required poise to go through. And this guy has a rune arc. Very, very good duel. Oh, he wants to make me do big damage. Okay. And I'm pretty sure he Bloodhound stepped there. No, just... Nope, that's Bloodhound step. I mean, it's really not surprising how quickly this game died. Seeing how, like, you have a Bloodhound step spamming host. I'm just gonna do this to buy me time. Like, with the rune arc. That's unfortunate tracking. Yep. Also, like, I don't know why FromSoft still doesn't have arenas on, like, game launch. Because, like, that guy had, like, I think it's, like, 25 bonus or % more health for no reason. Then just spamming Bloodhound step, which if there's... I mean, even with latency, it's, like, 2 frames that you can actually get hit. So if they're at least semi... No, actually, you don't even have to be competent to use Bloodhound step. It's literally just mash the button and then you can sit in AoEs without taking damage. And then they haven't done anything about it, like 3 months or whatever, how long it's been out. Which is just unfortunate. As I was gonna kind of talk about earlier, like, probably start playing other games again.
Hey!
Oh, that's not quite what I wanted to do, but whatever. Good delay on that. Oh god, that damage, holy shit. Yeah, that delay is crazy. Also, I don't understand the damage in this game. Because, like, one flame strike did, like, 1500 damage. Granted, it looked like he might have had, like, a fire buff on, maybe. But, like, nothing in this game makes sense balance-wise for PvP. And even a lot of the stuff doesn't make any sense for PvE, because usually FromSoft doesn't like things that ignore core game mechanics. And I feel like the ability to Bloodhound step through every boss's offense does exactly that. Because, like, Melania is a difficult boss, but Bloodhound step makes the fight a joke because it gets rid of, like, the deadly move entirely, just deletes it from the game effectively. Oh boy, another caster. Okay, interesting spell choice. Good fight. I love going against other casters because I feel like you had to have been playing these games for a long time to be used to the really awful casting mechanic to where you have to click to cycle through a spell list instead of, like, being able to just cast multiple spells back to back without such a clunky, like, system, really. Also, I'm gonna check my mic because it looks like it might be peaking a bit. To just cast multiple spells back to back without such a clunky... Sounds fine. Like, I find, like, a lot of casters in these games, they don't really combo spells, which is why I loved chain casting between different types of spells so much, because it allowed you to combo spells like actually where it felt like a intended combo where the animation didn't just reset to neutral, cast a spell, reset to neutral, cast a spell. It like went spell to spell. Which, I mean, like all these combos are still working just fine because like sorcery is still really strong. It's just less, like fewer combos work. Because it used to be it was like 5 or 6 factorial combos I could like branch into. And now it's like slicer into piercer, then delayed spells into any spell, and then spiral shard into comet.
Hey!
I don't know why those voices are so quiet. Oh, it's a sleep spell. Or sleep sword guy. And this, if I get hit by an L1, I die. Honestly, that's not that bad. Oh. Those cute attacks are painful. Interesting combo he went for, though. Like, I don't know why you went for that combo, because he had me dead. Because, like, from that sleep combo, you get, like, 2 L1s confirmed, which combos into another sleep for, like, you only need to land sleep once with those swords, and then if you just hit L1, it does, like, 1500 confirmed damage. If you land the sleep proc with an L1, because then it's 3 confirmed L1s. Because, like, you'll get the L1 that procs asleep, L1 as you're falling asleep, and then L1 on wake up. So there's no reason to try and switch stuff. Because, like, he just threw away the confirmed kill. Like, maybe you thought that was too strong, so he's trying to do fun stuff, but... like, what's the point?
Hey!
Poise stacking. That's another thing. I feel like passive poise really doesn't have a place. Ooh, there's some crazy latency here. It's like not full second, but yeah, effectively full second delay. Like, he just walks through it, then rolls a second later. Yeah. And because he's poise stacking, and ooh, that too. Okay, that to give me some time. I'm just gonna do this for the meme. You got too close. And I can't do one-handed attacks because he can poise through them. Yeah, all you have to do is mash buttons. And he had a Storm Stomp there, which is another Ash of War that isn't... it doesn't really make sense to have in PvP. Because it combos into a heavy Claymore attack, and it has instant hyper armor. So, against like 90% of weapons, you watch, if the opponent presses a button, you Storm Stomp R2. Because it's like a confirmed stagger on the opponent unless they like outspace it or whatever. And then you pretty much always win a trade with it. It's just crazy how it's like in the first patch or whatever, relatively like quick after release, actually had some adjustments that kind of affected PvP, but I wouldn't really say it was a PvP focus patch. Nothing for 2 months. Bug fixes that, and then just ignored stuff. And then it's like another like 3 weeks and still nothing. Like, you would think they would have a dedicated, like, online health team for a game with integrated online. That's a bad attempt. Ooh, interesting. Well, that's a weapon I kind of want to use, but I also don't have much of an interest in unlock. Oh. I've fought a person actually using like fun moves in a bit. But like my issue with this guy is, does that have hyper? Yeah, that has hyper. Also, how did that attack miss? Like, I'm pretty sure that had hyper armor anyway, so I was dead regardless, but I don't know how that missed. Does it just have really bad tracking when it went off to the side? I guess that attack has a good amount of forward movement, so probably just didn't track through it. But, like, I was just not patient enough for that fight, because I was constantly running into his counterattacks, which isn't the way to do that. The way to do that is play just as passively and make them attack first, and then you try and punish that, but it is what it is. But, I guess I could try invasions, but I just know it's going to be, like, nothing in terms of activity. Well, it seems like there's, like, maybe 6 people dueling here right now, or at least summoning. I haven't tried summoning myself. Well, a different person.
Hey!
Then that's enough. Did you just switch? Interesting time to jump. Was he just walking into me? I feel like that probably should have staggered me a bit more. I can't do my meme. Is he just trying to run up and get me with a weapon art combo? Yeah, I also don't know how I got out of that, because I thought it was supposed to be like, if you landed, it's a stun lock. Maybe I was too close and not all the, like, attacks landed. Not too sure. But yeah, let's try invasions, I guess, because I feel like dueling isn't great, to be quite frank. Let's spend these souls quickly, though. And by souls, I mean runes, of course. And in terms of other games, probably some Minecraft soon-ish, because Leech is going to be starting a new season, so probably do that for a bit. I don't really have any plans to upgrade weapons, so honestly, let's just buy a lot of boluses. Perfect. Okay, where has... Oh god, even the lake has, like, no activity. And it looks like only the lake has any activity at all in terms of invasions. At level 125, anyway. I did hear that, like, random it wouldn't be random invasions, but invasions in general are more common at, like, extremely high levels, because people new to the game never stopped leveling up for, like, a meta level or whatever. Which makes sense, but I'm not a fan of that, because then there's, like, no builds. Like, everyone has everything, which you just run into Bloodhound Step, like, dual bleed cross Naginatas, then you still get one shot even though you have 3k HP, because bleed's percentile damage. Hey, I should be using Terra Magica more. Holy, that damage. What was that? Interesting. Invader, though. That's good. Invader should be on other gun. God, and then full bull goats and this game. Unfortunate. Is that all he's doing? Is spamming that? He's gonna grab the summon sign once he can. 730 damage. Boy, we did it. Yay. But it's like I passive poise in general I feel like is such a bad thing for the game. I feel like Dark Souls 3 approach of a much more focus on hyper armor, which is essentially poise only when attacking, is so much better because then in order to have its benefit you have to do something. With passive poise, you just walk up and press, like, they press button, you press button, you win. If you're, like, build around, like, poise trading, that is. Whereas in this game, the way hyper armor work is it's so odd. So where sometimes you're punished for using hyper armor because hyper armor will have your current poise and then add a flat like poise modifier from the weapon type. So for greatswords, I believe it's half poise plus 30. So if you have more than 60 poise, you lose poise with a hyper armor attack. So if you attack one-handed, you have more poise. Which normally that attack has no hyper armor. Which that's just so weird to me. It doesn't make sense. Which also means like I feel like the intention was to always have passive poise, and then if it is a hyper armor attack, you get some back. Like that is, it halves poise when you attack, but then it just doesn't work for weapons that don't have hyper armor. That's the only way I can see that like convoluted system making sense. And even then, I feel like that also isn't good game design though. Because then it would just be, it would reward people to use like fast high damage weapons like dual straight swords. Do nothing to trade through like higher poise damage weapons, and then you punish them for it. Which I get, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this system. And I also like how we got one there's one set of people hosting in Elden Ring right now. I have a feeling it's going to be the same exact people. We'll see, though. Nope, it's literally the same people. Ooh, that tracking was disappointing. I might be dead here. heal. Not enough distance on that. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hey, I'm not dead. Ran. Panic. That wasn't even a panic roll. That was a cute roll. Feels bad. That was just bad play on my part. Also, it's interesting what they're doing. They're, actually trying to gank with a 2v1 where he's untaunt or something as soon as they get an invasion. So if I get him again, I should just go on the aggro right away. It's like, honestly, there's no point buffing the sword because it's not great. I mean, it does high damage when it lands, which honestly I should use it more, but eh. I mean, I feel like it won't really work consistently at meta level. But yeah, in terms of other games, Minecraft probably just like, I'm not sure how much I'll actually stream because I don't feel like Minecraft is typically a good streaming game because of how much downtime there is. Well, not even really downtime, just grinding, I suppose. Which, I mean, can be good every now and then, but probably not primary. But I want another PvP game. Also, I might just crash here. In terms of PvP game, I was kind of thinking Naraka Bladepoint again. Because it seems to be, like, it got put on the Xbox Game Pass, so there's actually a player base in the, like, NA again. Is this frozen? I'll give it a minute. Oh yeah, it, like, full crashed. Very good game. Very good game. So yeah, like Naraka Bladepoint could be interesting, Minecraft, and then just completely new game, maybe like an FPS, because I never really got into that in my PC. Like I'm not actually using my PC to its fullest, just playing like Elden Ring or whatever. I'm pretty sure Naraka Bladepoint is still pretty resource intensive though. Because like, Minecraft is good and all, but I want a PvP game. I was hoping it was going to be Elden Ring. Not as, like, a competitive sense, really, but just a PvP game, essentially. Just a fun PvP game to play. Yes, I know it crashed. We could have... Who would have expected Elden Ring to crash while trying to do multiplayer features? Crazy. Well, that's another crazy bug that still exists, a 2-minute disconnect. Which is like their awful implementation of easy anti-cheat. After 2 minutes, there's a chance of just being disconnected every time somebody joins the world. Which has made like hosting with a friend pretty much, not impossible, just a huge pain to do. Because if you're hosting, ideally it's like a constant flow of invaders, and ideally it would be like a constant 2v2, but invasions are so slow, it's like a 2v1 with one guy, 2v2, or 2v1 with another guy, 2v1 with the first guy again. Then I got disconnected because it had been 2 minutes since somebody connected. It's just so bad. And it's been months without actually fixing anything. I'm just so disappointed. I don't know what I really expected going into this. Because, like, this is actually what I expected. I just kind of needed to see to be certain. But hopefully Minecraft, because we're just working on data packs at this point, the world is good to go. Probably do that soon.
Hey!
Can't wait to get, like, one shot.
Hey!
Oh, that's a source if I've ever seen one. fighting this guy. Take that trade. Take that trade. Not that. I mean, that wasn't even a trade. I just like. I'm so bad at fighting players like that because I just don't expect it. Whereas, like, of course they're gonna do that again. It worked, like, at least as a trade the previous 2 times, so why wouldn't they? I'm also always caught off guard at how quickly it can come out if it's all they're doing. Because, like, that almost felt like a roll weapon art, but it was also, like, extra projectiles kind of hid the roll animation, so, like, you don't see the entire thing, so it feels faster than it actually is. Which is one good thing that a Duels Moonblade does, is it has so much, like, projectile particle cover that it kind of hides your next move. It just feels bad that it doesn't actually combo into anything now because it has, like, the animation slow, and any worthwhile follow-up is also, like, kind of slow, because I'm pretty sure I couldn't really do a Moonblade into, Piercer. Actually, would that work? Yeah, it might. Might actually be an interesting thing to just look at quickly. But I feel like the only reason Slicer into Piercer works is because Slicer has no recovery. I feel like Moonblade would have too much recovery. I love very engaging game mechanics. 700 damage from... Then that easy does 1k damage. Dangerous because I don't know what range attacks he might all have. Is he healing? Yeah, he does have a... Don't know how that missed. Also, oh, I think that was a jump or like a roll attack, not a sprint attack, because I was coming out of the crouch, which is like an oddly long window where your next attack will be, like, look at that, like, I'm not crouching anymore, but the way it works is you have to, like, fully return to neutral. So, like, if your shoulder is still, like, kind of hunched over, you're still in a crouch, technically, which, kind of odd. Okay, I was going to check, where is it? You can tell it's been a bit since I played this game. What is this combo like? I don't know, it might. Maybe. I don't, it's hard to say. I just feel like the damage on Moonblade just isn't really worth the spell slot anymore, though. It's like, it's a very cool spell, but if it's kind of outclassed by... Because, like, I liked it because it had a lot of combo potential, both melee and range. Whereas now it doesn't. Well, I guess I need to just try the combo, because it probably doesn't true combo into anything. So let's just get in here. Yeah, a fingerprint shield. Interesting. Stars of Ruin, oh boy. Oh god, red. Yep, amazing. You need to watch out for that pebble, because if it lands, you just instantly die, and it has like no recovery too. And that's all he's gonna do. Like, then he doesn't have any HP, so it's whatever. Oh. But he's doing it wrong. The way you use Glintstone Pebbles, you poise stack, so if they press a button, you press Glintstone Pebble. It has like infinite poise damage, so then you just one-shot him. Because, like, why not? And that little projectile needs to do that much damage. Actually, what's the player count for this game? Yeah, 35k is not bad for how long it's been. That's still a lot more than any previous Souls game. Realistically, anyway. But yeah, probably next stream, which, I mean, hopefully is sometime soon, will be Minecraft for, like, the start of a new Elite season, or Naraka Blade Point for, like, actual PvP. Because, like, the other thing is Souls PvP's never really been good from an objective standpoint, but it's fun because of all the dumb stuff that can happen. But I feel like this game is a bit too dumb for that. Is blue just letting the host die? Fight somebody, fight me. Oh god, where's her HP? This game's so dumb. And then the host is dead anyway. But yeah, like, even though, like, if you purely stack, like, Vigor and then all the HP you boost, you'll have more HP than previous games. Even then, it doesn't scale the same as the damage does. Like, the damage is insane in this game. And then you have, like, people who don't really know what they're doing, to where they won't have Vigor, and then they'll also have, like, a Scar Seal, or Scar or Sword Seal on. So not only do they not have much HP fighting against really high damage stuff, they also take so much damage because they have no defenses. Which, I mean, that just has to feel terrible for them trying to PvP. Because it's so, like, polarizing. Because, like, even though I only have 50 Vigor on this character, like, I'm experienced enough to know that I'm at, like, a health disadvantage. To, like, kind of play more cautiously around that. Whereas, like, a player new to the series, they won't have defense or HP, and then they just get one shot constantly. Then they just think that's how the game is because everything in the game does that much damage. Where in reality, they can, like, kind of play around it a little bit, but the damage is still way overtuned. Is it one shot Katana Man again? Yeah. I think that combos into What is that delayed hitbox? Holy shit. Nah, that's not the spell I wanted. Let's actually do one of these. Get some FP back. Actually, let's go for this, for the meme. I thought I was going to roll a catch. Ooh. Good interrupt. Kind of went for the roll catch there. Oh! I think he went into his inventory thinking he was safe from the spiral. But that, like, when fully charged, that thing lasts forever. I'm pretty sure charging also increases duration for it. It also makes it do a ton of damage because I have a Godfrey icon on. I mean, the invasions haven't been great, but they also haven't been as bad as I expected. To be fair, it's been like 4 people, or like 4 unique invasions so far. A lot of repeats. But, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. And I know I said I was going to, like, play different characters, but finding any activity on those has been really difficult. Then let's just reduce damage, because I don't know if I guess he wants it. I wonder where this guy is from, because like the latency isn't bad, but it's also not great. Ooh, good jump there. Holy damage. Ooh, almost got that. Let's be aggressive here. Too aggressive. I wasn't expecting him to attack there. But I guess because it was kind of charged, he knew he had a bit more time. Because usually people play extremely passively when there's a Glint Blade out. So I was expecting like a free initial attack on my end, but the guy knew he had like time for 1 attack, which is good. It's just going to be this guy over and over again because he has Taunter's Tongue. Which is also kind of odd because, and I guess it makes sense, people with Taunter's Tongue active are prioritized, I believe. Which makes sense, I prioritize PvP for the people who want PvP. Oh, it is a different guy. Nice. But then you just like never run into people just playing. Well, I guess you really can't even run into people just playing through the game either, to be fair. That's this guy's strategy. Hey, the Phantom got 2-minute disconnect timer. Yay, amazing game. Very well made game. Let's do this the asinine. It's nice to see the Phantom at least using like fun weapons. I won it. I was doing so much better because I don't want to hit the Phantom constantly is the annoying thing. And this guy knows how to turtle where he's not like, god damn it, guy. Like, I have spells to deal with the shield, but I can't cast them because he's using the red as a meat shield. Actually, let's do this. And I got 2-minute disconnected. Yay, amazing game. I just like, you know, they really messed up the Souls PvP when like all the Souls content creators, or like at least the streamers, went back to other games or like switched to different games already. Like 3 months afterwards, like for all the previous Souls games, it was like at least a year of constant like like streaming it, like main game streaming it. Now it's like, oh, this is actually kind of awful. Let's do other stuff. I mean, like, especially on PC, like, because like the 2-minute disconnect bug, it affects co-op too. It's like, how's that? Like, imagine trying to do a co-op playthrough with somebody, but every time you connect, which is after every single boss, by the way. And this is going to be annoying because voice act. What the fuck is that damage? Yeah, a bit of latency too. How did they take 160 damage? Usually that does like at least 300. And how did they do like 700 damage per slicer without a flask? It's like, I don't have a Scar Seal or a Sword Seal on or anything, and my magic defense is decent. Kind of odd. How did mine only do 160 damage? Because it didn't have any buffs on. How did they, at the same time, do so much? Like, they had better armor, like, because Veteran's armor is just all-around good armor, but not quite that good, usually. Or did I not use the buff as well? Because that would reduce my damage a ton. Probably not quite that much. Actually, that's something I could do as well, because I have Naraka installed, I just haven't really played it much. I could just end the stream, like, making sure that works well. Just to see, like, if I still get, like, consistent frame rate with it running and whatnot. Because honestly, I don't think I'm going to be playing this much longer. Because it's something, alright. Oh, it's Great Sword Boy again. And by Great Sword, I mean Great Shield. That stuns that long? Oof. I should have just, like, stuck with the 60% damage nerf for me. Because, like, I also removed my buff, which is, like 25% more damage. So, I mean, I still would have done more damage overall, but then they could just recast it, whereas I permanently got rid of all my buffs. Because I don't think it's really ever worth having that spell when invading. That spell being, what you call it? Law of Regression. Because all they have to do is, like, have the Phantom pressure me, and then the host can just recast it. Like, it's kind of useless to have for me. In invasions, anyway. Like, if I'm duo hosting, then it's good to have because it works in the reverse. Oh yeah, I was just gonna see if Narako worked properly. And it looks like the game may have crashed, so hey, no, it actually worked. What the fuck is that damage? Whatever, it works. Yeah, I'm moving to Narako. I'll probably just run around like the test, and then that guy's just cross, or like, seppuku spamming. Okay, let's see if this works, and then probably call it there. Do I have a... You know, I need to make a... I need to set up a scene and all that. But let's at least launch it. Where the hell is it? There it is. Gotta wait for Elden Ring to stop. I think this should work. Like I went back and like completely revamped my like OBS layout. I just need to so if I do it like are they treated the same? Okay, no, they're not. I nope, they are the same source still. That's weird. Okay, how do I do this then? Like delete that there. Okay, so that works. Okay. This should be fine then. Hey, play this. The game takes forever to launch as you would expect. Is it actually launching? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out soon. Okay, I should be able to capture it now. Is the game not captured though? God, is that loud? That looks like it's probably, yeah, that's very loud. Settings. Why is it not captured though? gonna try removing that, then re-adding it, I guess? Or does game capture just not work with Naraka? If it doesn't work, I'll try a window capture. I was already in use, I just... What? Uh... Yay, troubleshooting, because why not? Oh, there it is. Okay, free training, let's go. Also, let's... I'll just go by FPS feel. I don't need to see specific FPS. The main thing is I want it to be playable. I don't necessarily need to get... why is game capture frozen? Yeah, that didn't update. Whoops. Why, though? Hey, delete that. Add a game capture, I guess. Hmm. I don't want to do display capture. But then window capture is not even capturing the game. Okay, yeah, I guess I just have to mess around with this later, and hopefully I can get it to work. But yeah, that will be the stream for today. Don't know when the next one will be, so yeah, see you then.